teams about to clash here in the Boys Senior Game Spy Report All-Star action at the fabulous Cedar Point Sports Complex, and it is all coming your way right now on the OH Report. I am Brian Skronsky. Garrett Parlett is joining me, and this is going to be exciting, G-Man. A lot of the best senior athletes that reside in Northwest Ohio all getting together tonight, and should be a lot of fireworks here at a place that is known for fireworks. Cedar Point, great venue, great players, excellent atmosphere. Yeah,
I think the game's going to be a little slowed down at the beginning, kind of just having fun out there. But then in that fourth quarter, those late stages of that second half, it's going to turn up, and then the game and the intensity is going to really get going towards the end of the ball game. I'm excited to see that.
Yeah, a lot of good size here for both teams and some excellent players being announced right now. And when you get to this point of the season, if you're invited to one of these showcases, obviously you're no slouch. You know how to play the game of hoops. So while the continuity is not really going to be there, these guys haven't had, I don't know if any practice time with one another outside of today. Still expecting them to get into a good flow eventually, like you mentioned, in that second half.
Yeah, these kids, they've really grown up together. They've played against each other, and most of them play AAU, I would imagine. And just coming out here and playing one more time with these group of guys, I'm sure is great for them. And any of these guys can take anybody off the dribble in this arena right here, one-on-one. So I think the offense is going to be free-flowing. It's when the defense is going to kick it on in the second half. I think it's going to be the most fun part to watch.
For the white team that you're taking a look at right there, Ed Rich and Jeremy Nichols are going to be the head coaches tonight from Bellevue. On the opposing side for the black team, John Otterbacher of Tiffin Calvert, AP Poll champions this season. He's going to be running the show, and I don't know how much coaching really goes on at one of these. I was just sitting over on the bench for the girls' game, and it was mostly just kind of observing, I think, from the coaches. No need for a ton of input.
Yeah, I was on the other side that you were on, Brian. I was with Natalie Lance, and she wasn't providing much game planning, but more just kind of coaching up and kind of picking when to sub in and sub out. But you could tell towards the end that she did care, kind of towards the end, that she wanted to win that game. She kind of explained to the kids like how to do it, how they wanted to defend, and they were able to pick up a big win in the girls' game.
Let's go ahead and take a look at the full roster, beginning with Team Black, and the only kid who is a scratch tonight, number 2, Garrett Spahn. Everybody else is going to be participating, and we've seen a handful of these kids on the OH Report during the season. Colin Nutter, definitely a standout, 6'7". He's very smooth, lanky with the basketball. Jairi Alexander from Sandusky, another great player. Tiffin Calvert, the all-time leading three-point scorer. Blake Ronsky will be in action. And then Isaac Roeder, a kid that rewrote the record books as a junior and then as a senior, has really cemented himself as the best player all time in Monroeville history.
Yeah, I got to see that dude in that tournament play. They ended up losing that game to Margaretta, but that dude's a stud. He can score the ball at a high level, and he, for a big man too, I like the way he can shoot the ball too and dribble off the bounce. So Isaac Roeder and this whole entire this cast is star-studded, to say the least.
And on the other side for Team White, here's who's suiting up tonight. I know that you got to see Jake Liebacker in action for Margaretta during the tournament. He is a awesome player. Trey Paxton as well got shaken up in his last game during the tournament, an ankle injury. Talked to him a little bit beforehand. He said he iced it. It's still a little bit bruised, but he is going to be all right. And then Wes Stokes, along with Ian Miner, the players that we saw regularly on OH Report this year. Fun to see him one last time, too.
Yeah, that Jake Liebacker, I mean, he is constantly moving at 99 speed, and you'll see that here, Brian. Me and Storm always make the joke about 99 speed cheese in NBA 2K, the game. I mean, he's no joke. This dude catches the ball, and he's immediately on the other side of the floor as soon as he gets across it.
It's going to be Team Black with the basketball first to start things off. They'll work it side to side. And we'll see how long this actually takes place, where they're running through a set here as that one's launched and comes up short from Isaac Roeder. I think as the night wears on, we're going to see a whole lot more one-on-one.
Yeah, it usually just turns into isolation. The first few possessions are sort of kind of rocky, but nice take right there from the white team. That's when Wes Stokes or Marion Harding get on the board first.
Give me your over-under for the winning team of 85 points. What are you thinking? What's your pick?
What were girls at, 68?
Yeah.
I would say, it was got to be right there. I would probably say over.
Going to take the over on the 85. We'll see who's able to get there first, if one of these teams do. Excellent
Yeet.
backdoor, and how about the slamma-jamma? Jacob Meyer of Eastwood. Hello.
Wasn't expecting that right off the rip. No defender even decided to jump to. Get up or get out the way. Meyer slamming it down.
Long three, front iron. Offensive rebound, a long one to Ian Miner. Now Stokes again looking to go to work over a double team.
And this is kind of the best basketball that you want to play as a player. Just kind of freelance, kind of roam around. This is just like pick up basketball at the park. It's just really, it's out for fun. And then those late stages of the game, the intensity is going to rack up. Let's see which team can really get going offensively. As I said, it's typically a struggle in these all-star games the first couple of minutes, just kind of getting some chemistry and gelling down in those first couple minutes.
A lot of shots coming up short here in the early going, including that one from Aiden McGow. But Black gets it back off the turnover. The lefty, too strong, right into the hands of Leibacher. And Stokes, a bit of contact. Didn't draw a whistle and threw it out of bounds.
So maybe I might want to take the under here, Brian.
You change your mind a minute later, huh?
I expected maybe a little bit more points out of the gate, but nonetheless, still 2-2 here, 17:30 remaining.
Well, I think once they start getting the stove fired up here and start cooking offensively, yeah, well, we could see points coming in bunches. You know, none of these guys look like they're even sweating yet, so
right.
Let them truly get warm. You know, it was kind of a fast warm-up for everybody out here participating. As that one, again, a lot of shots, like I mentioned, coming up short here to start, though.
This guy's not in basketball shape, maybe. You know, Brian, taking a couple weeks off, haven't played in maybe a couple weeks, besides maybe some pickup ball. Got to get used to the hardwood floors. Meyer thought he was going to try to go for the jam there, went with the reverse, not going to get it to go.
Off the screen. Nowhere to go with the basketball, so Stokes comes from the top. Elbow J, in and out. Another rebound for Roeder. Now down on the block. We'll see if DeWeese goes to work. Shovel pass off, up and under move, and the follow by Isaac.
I mean, there's some tough defense. They're not just letting him get right by him. I mean, that was great defense from Miner, stepping down there and trying to dig at the basketball and rake it away. Did you see on the other end, Roeder almost getting the steal, not going to get it as Leibacher pushes the pace. That floater's not going to fall on Black rebounds.
Here comes Olsen of Clyde. DeWeese thought about a three and will get fouled on the drive. Looks like we're going to get wholesale changes now for Team White. And ditto now for the Black, as Coach Otterbacher following Coach Rich's move. As we're just past the 7:40 p.m. time here up in Sandusky. And this is a pretty cool venue. This is my personal first time coming up here. I mean, there's, what, like 8 basketball courts full length?
Yeah, this one's kind of off into the corner, but as you go over, you can tell they host AAU tournaments. There's like 8 or 10 courts over there that are just open and to play at. It's a nice facility up here.
That was a nice deep triple by Blake Ronsky. Just checked into the contest. He's got the rebound as well. Alexander to the cup, left hand. Beauty.
Nice take right there, too. Using the speed, it's his ability with the quick hesitation and then finishing on the left side of the hoop with the right hand.
Here's Trey Paxson of Willard. Splash.
You can only think, Brian, of maybe what would have been different maybe if Paxson didn't get hurt against Western Reserve. Is that a layup from downtown, knocking it in.
Jordan Vallejo of Cary, known as a physical specimen because, I mean, look at the dude, of course. Showing a little bit of touch, too.
I think you got to feed him now, Brian. I mean, if he's going to step out and knock down a three, you've got to continue to feed this big man.
And look, now he's lurking about 30 feet away from the basketball hoop. Wronski as well. That's a little bit more in his wheelhouse. As mentioned, he's Calvert's all-time leading three-point scorer. Fisher with a nice screen that time. But Tate Fisher.
Get it to him.
Just missed it. Yeah, here comes the freight train. This is what we know. Nice dish in transition. Even better block shot, though.
Showing off some of the handles, too. And look at him on the defensive end here, Brian. With a save. I mean, he's got the best two quality minutes here. And just in 2 minutes, he's made an impact on every possession.
Even lost his shoe as Wronski lights it up for his second triple. And we got a 10-point advantage now for the Black. No answer back here at the other end. Until there, Gavin DeWeese of Eastwood.
Nice find down low there from Tate Fisher. Down on DeWeese for the easy two was quickly a 10-point advantage out of nowhere. As soon as Jordan Vallejo checked in the game, they went on that big run. And now White trying to answer.
Pushing the pace back the other way. Corner three. Too strong. Vallejo, strong board. Nice play that time by Bryce Reynolds to save it back in bounds. And Paxton, no-look pass, wanted a backdoor, and it was closed.
Reynolds, a player I've seen a couple times in the tournament late in the season, and he's a heck of an athlete. He had 37 points against the old alum and Crestview and shut them down. So he's had a tough night here so far at the All-Star game, missing a couple threes on the other end. Black can't convert as well, and there's Reynolds for the rebound.
Paxton left alone. He always loves that downtown view. Offensive board and heading to the free throw line will be Reynolds. Eight-point hole here for Team White. 7.5 minutes here into the contest. And it'll remain that way as Reynolds misfires on the first.
Reynolds surprised he missed that one. He doesn't miss many. He had to take a double take at the rim and make sure it's regulation as that one will splash in for his first point of the night.
Vallejo thought about it.
Here we go.
1 for 2 now from 30 feet. And that we know he can do.
And I think it would have been a clean play. What did he do, Brian? He swiped down at the basketball. I think it would have been a clean. I think it would have been a clean play if he just would have went straight up and not swiped down.
Well, anybody who's a fan of the Winnebago knows that that is not his style. He is coming at you full force, 100% throttle.
He's got some ups. I honestly didn't expect him to jump that high. I mean, he was up there.
Yeah, Jordan, excellent story this year. He was coming off the bench early on in the campaign for the Blue Devils, averaging, I think, about 4 points a game. And then once he got the start as Wronski, Rainbows won just short, he started scoring about 20 a game. He pushed his average up over double figures. All he needed was an opportunity, and now he's an all-star. Pretty phenomenal. Looked like Wronski lost the handle. Reynolds with some excellent defense on the perimeter. Big thank you to Maumee Bay Turf Center for sponsoring everything tonight to help you watch this full broadcast of the Spy Report All-Star Game. Tipped around, offensive board. Reynolds goes for it again, but Nutter meets him at the rim. And that pass just out of the reach of Alexander.
So the offense started off hot for Black after those first couple minutes. Those bench guys checked in. The offense was able to heat up, but been pretty quiet here in the past couple minutes. It was a 10-point advantage, and it's now down to 6 for White.
Opportunity to cut into that here. Paxson off the screen. Nothing but net.
And with this new era of basketball, that is really what the game is turning into. Those three-point shooters who can just, off the dribble, shoot really wherever they want. And Trey Paxson is one of my favorite players to watch in that kind of sense. The dude can shoot the lights off from anywhere on the court, and he's knocked down a couple here tonight at the All-Star game.
Bit too firm there from Nutter with a turnaround, Jay. One of the few true post players that I got an opportunity to cover this year. Like you were just saying, it's basically just positionless basketball in 2022.
Yeah.
You don't see a lot of guys that basically make their hay in the paint all the time.
Yeah, it's a lost art as those post players, and you don't get to see many throughout the year now in the year 2022 in basketball as Black can't convert on their shot attempt.
Reynolds, what a rip through right there. But called for the walk. And again, we're going to get wholesale changes, which I love and hate all at once, just because we're going to get the same matchups here over and over again. So we'll see if there's any type of adjustment. But then again, it's an all-star game, so what are we really doing here, you know? Just get out there and have fun. Gotta say, though, I have been impressed with how aggressively we've seen the defense play so far through the first 10 minutes.
Yeah, we talked about that really coming into the game. We didn't know how much the defensive pressure would exist. And it's been quite a surprise, to be blatantly honest. I thought it was going to be maybe just some one-on-ones, but the defensive pressure's there. I mean, nobody really has had an open shot. As Minor, he's going to cue up a three, and that'll fall from downtown.
So the Norwalk product matching the three made by Jaden Cook of Clyde at the other end. And now here's another triple on the way. Kaboom, 3 in a row. That time it's Aiden McGough from Gibsonburg. The hot streak ends. Big swat there after the offensive board by Ryan Moore.
Some tough looks. I mean, there's nobody that gets a wide open look. Just correct me as I'm wrong. McGough, he's going to cue up a three. That's not going to fall, but hasn't been many open looks for either side. The defensive pressure is definitely existing.
Stokes lobs it inside. Quick move over the left shoulder and off the glass is Moore.
What a lost art that kind of play is, just a post play. Nice dribble move right there from the guard, but just a little baby hook just off the window gets it to go. It's a beautiful sight to see in today's age as Jacob Meyer from Eastwood, he knocks in a three ball.
Minor, no response at the other end. So here comes Team Black with the lead, won't add to it. Stokes wheeling inside. Just off target with that one. Woo, how about that crossover? Fancy scoop shot as well. And that's going to land Meyer on the free throw line for a couple.
What a tremendous move right there, showing off the quickness with the double crossover. Got by, too, and almost finished with enough English to get it to go, but we'll head to the free throw line to see if he can add to his total and help his team continue to grow this advantage.
Able to knock down both. Pushes the advantage back out to 9. As we're just shy of 8 minutes remaining here. Opening half, Spy Report All-Star Game. The first of many, I presume, to come. And big shout out to Jake Meisler as well for getting Spy Report started first and foremost. He's doing an awesome thing for high school basketball players, not just in Northwest Ohio, but all around, just to create some awareness of some of these kids, some of the talents that we have, and try to get them some scholarships and put on shows just like this, G-Man. I think it's something pretty awesome.
Yeah, we've been a part of a couple now, Brian, last couple years with Jake, and it's an awesome experience to come up here and call these games and see the kind of talent that we really do have in our areas. Aiden McGow, he knocks down another 3-ball. But as you mentioned, man, it's an awesome experience to come up here and watch these kids who are absolutely electric, to say the least.
Inside foul that time. So much height on the floor. I was just going through the roster. I mean, Tyler Webb of Port Clinton is 5'9". Everybody else at least 6 foot. And then we've got multiple monsters that are 6'4" or higher.
You don't see that kind of height at the high school level too often. 6'6" and above. And they would have had even another one with Valentine, too.
Yeah, Carter Valentine, along with Mason Studer of Colonel Crawford, unable to play tonight, choosing to save their energy for tomorrow for the News Journal Classic, which the OH Report will be a part of as well. Also missed out on Reed Jury and then Bryce Burns as well from Tiffin and Hopewell Loudon, who I believe elected to play in another all-star event this weekend as well. That was a nice take by Minor. Off the hesitation to the rack. 3 defenders. No problem that time from McGough.
Even with the tough defense, the offense is now starting to pick up. Some of these shots that you don't see typical players make, these stars are making look easy as they fall into the hoop.
Step back triple. Stokes would have been a 3. And he's just been a fraction off so far on most of his attempts. Roeder. Liebacker with the rebound. Racing end to end. Switching to the left hand. Pretty play.
What a tough finish there, too. Through a couple defenders and somehow able to use the sidestep with the left hand to get it to go. As now they continue to grow this advantage.
Stokes with the board. Gives it off to Jake. He's going to pull up from long range. And look like his GPS just a bit off coordinates. As the next 5 checking in both sides. And for Team Black, once this 5 came in, this is when they were able to build their lead.
Yeah. It all started with Jordan Vallejo. I think I just want to set that now. He had that 3, couple great defensive saves, some hustle plays, showing off the effort, even in an all-star game.
Ronsky as well was able to capitalize on a couple of big 3s as Nutter takes his time. Gets 2 more, largest lead so far of the night for Team Black. White can't seem to conjure up a response here as of late. They've gone cold from the floor.
Reynolds has been struggling all night with his jumper, and now we see Vallejo on the attack. Nice defensive effort there from Paxton to just knock it off. Now Reynolds on the other end. That's not going to fall, but foul will be called under the charity stripe for 2.
So the 6'4" Elmwood senior. Chance to try to chip away here at the deficit. 4:22 to go. Opening half. They'll play 2 halves here tonight. And he's able to rein in both. Slick crossover, fouled on his way to the bucket is Kyle Scott. Kind of a home game here for these Sandusky boys.
Yeah, not a far drive over here to Cedar Point Lane. Nice crossover from Scott. Couldn't get it to go for the and 1, but more free throws on this end.
How you feeling about that over 85 prediction at this point?
Feeling good. I did take it back, but I want to re-up again. And at least for Black, they're putting up points at a high level. And I think they got 2 units, too, who have really been solid on this side of the floor. I mean, they got Vallejo. And if he can knock this down, not able to do so. But I think the 85 is still a solid choice for the over.
Nice ball movement leads to the triple. Bryce Reynolds kind of carrying the offense a little bit here for the second unit. Now Ronsky won't match it. And he falls down in a heap. Hopefully he's okay. Excellent hustle there by Olsen. But a foot out of bounds, so ball will belong to Jordan and company.
I think the offense for this second unit for the white squad, they got some great players on that side. The offense has got to get going to get back into the game. They got Paxton and Reynolds, a couple other guys too who can really score the basketball. I feel like Reynolds and Paxton have been carrying, and Vallejo with a take to the cup. He gets to go with the right hand.
18-wheeler right down the middle.
And how do you defend that, Brian, coming at you full force of the rim? I mean, I feel like you have to post up for the charge.
Well, I almost want to jump in a pickup game with Jordan Vallejo just to see how high my frightened meter goes when I see him coming at me with the basketball.
Because I feel like sitting from here, it might be a little bit different, but once you get onto the floor, yeah, a lot of things change, especially mentality-wise, and a guy like that, the Winnebago, some say, I mean, you might just want to pack your bags and walk off the floor.
Well, look how thick that kid is.
And he moves. I mean, he's a running back. He was a running back in football.
Yeah. Now, a great question that's been posed here by our producer, Adam. Do you find Jordan to be scarier on the court with or without the basketball?
Without. I think I would rather go up against him as me on the defensive end. Because then technically I'm doing, like, the fouling. You know what I mean? I mean, dude's legs are massive, the trunks, to say the least. But when I have the ball, he's doing all, like, if I got to take it into him, you know what I mean?
Sure. Yeah, he can come down and fully club you at any time. And will. Jordan again. Well short, though, this time into the hands of Olsen, who pushes ahead. Paxton is there for the easy bucket.
Nice play from White and Paxton getting out in transition for the easy layup. Still in double figures, though, is this advantage for the black team.
See if they can extend here. Deep three, well short. Offensive rebound, though, for Jordan. And he sends one off the backboard. I think I heard him call glass.
I think I heard it too, or maybe that was just the defender taking that gas for air after he hit him with the body move.
A couple times off the rim. And now a rebound here for Scott. Pushing the pace end to end. Nutter offensive rebound and a stick back.
As soon as White gets on the cusp of getting back into the game, cutting it into single digits, just too much offensive firepower for the black team as Vallejo gets the rebound.
See if Team Black elects to hold for the final shot here, the opening half, as we're down to 10 seconds.
I heard an ISO, Brian, from the bench call. I think he might be ISOing this final possession. I think he's going to.
Yeah, clearing it out. And look at Paxton. He's got a smile on his face, but you know he's a little nervous. As that shot comes up about 6 feet short for Jordan Vallejo. Looks like Black trying to put Team White 6 feet under here with a huge first half. We'll take a timeout. We'll be right back. Second half action on the way at the Spy Report All-Star Game.
Maumee Bay Turf Center, a leader in synthetic sports surfaces as well as natural field construction, maintenance, and renovation. Maumee Bay Turf is part of Turf Nation, the most trusted source in the synthetic turf industry, including creating the surface for the biggest game in pro football. From professional, college, and high school sports to recreation and commercial projects. Check them out at MaumeeBayTurfCenter.com and see our large collection of finished projects and services. Maumee Bay Turf Center. We build better.
Nervous? Oh, Blaze. Brings back so many good memories. Remember our road trip in '97? Our first real heart-to-heart?
I've never seen any of your movies! Not even the ones we were together!
Hey, do you remember when that stalker kidnapped us?
Yes!
Blaze was there.
Blaze. Do you have barbecue or cheddar jalapeno?
Ooh. Oh, remember when we stumbled into that turf war? Remember when you bought your first house?
Hi! I'm Seth!
Those were good times. They were golden. You ready?
Seth, do you?
I do.
And Janet, do you?
That's a yes.
I love this lady! Best day of my life!
The exclamation point on the night for Maurice Ware.
Half number 2 set to begin here. Spy Report All-Star Game from the fabulous Cedar Point Sports Park here. Brian Skronsky, Garrett Parlett, and now a special guest, John Otterbacher, joining us, the head coach of the black team. You got a huge lead here, Coach. I imagine that's got a lot to do with your play calling.
Yeah, we've been running good sets for everybody on the team, making sure that somebody's always open, like you should be in an all-star game, and if you're open, you shoot it. So doing a decent job right now.
Actually been pretty impressed. That's a nice take to the cup that time by Tyler Webb. With the defensive prowess of your guys, it seems like they're really taking to heart that they're trying to D up and get this dub.
Well, we talked about before the game, this is to showcase your abilities, not just offensively, but defensively. And there are people watching, and you got little kids watching these guys and looking up to them, and they don't just want to come out and screw around. They actually want to win and get after it.
So for you as a coach here, how much are you actually barking out orders versus just kind of sitting back and letting the guys do their thing?
Just sitting back and letting them do their thing. I did talk to Aiden Magoo from Gibsonburg and told him he's allowed to rip an attack right away. It's not Gibsonburg anymore, and he can go to the basket right away, which I know with their style of offense with Coach Liskey, that didn't happen very often. So I told him he was granted permission to do that, and he started laughing.
Deep three by Trey Paxton finds its mark, and we've seen a ton of deep triples, at least attempted so far here, Coach. Just your thoughts on kids pulling up from 30 feet.
You got to take what they give you. As hard as they're playing on defense, they're going to keep pushing you out away from the basket. And if you're in rhythm and ready to shoot, then those are good shots.
Well, a lot of the best players from Northwest Ohio competing here today. Any of these guys that were not a member of your team that you're actually pretty glad to see graduate you won't have to go up against in the future?
Actually, all of them. They're all pretty impressive athletes. We didn't get to play a ton of them, but watching them and scouting teams that they've played, have been impressed with their athleticism and how well their teams have coached. I'm really impressed with Jacob Meyer's athleticism and how much he can jump. I even asked him if he was high jumping. He said he's going to try to this year.
Final question here for you. Jordan Vallejo is a kid that we've had an opportunity to cover on the football field and then the basketball surface as well. Coaching that kid in his style, how would you really describe Jordan as a basketball player?
He's actually probably one of the most athletic ones in the gym.
True.
We went and scouted them 3 or 4 times this year, figuring we're going to face them in either district semis or district finals, which we did. And from last year to this year, how much skill and development he has worked on and improved on, his dribbling, his shooting, his post moves. And everyone will just give me that look like, you mean the big bully football player out there?
Right.
I said, yes, definitely. He is very athletic, and he knows how to play and knows how to put the ball in the hole.
Well, your team's doing a nice job of that right now. 19-point cushion, Coach, so continue to keep making all the right calls out here.
I'm doing my best I can for him.
All right, Coach John Otterbacher of the black team, also Tiffin Calvert's head coach during the high school season. So a lot of back and forth going on here, G-Man. We're seeing the offense start to pick up now. This is what we anticipated.
Yeah, the defense is starting to get a little tired as Leibacher with the left hand. What a tough take there. Defense was right there to contest. Didn't matter, but big deficit here for White. And they got a lot of offense that's going to need to step it up. But this, as Coach was talking about, this Jacob Myers kid is impressing me. He's had a couple looks at the rim where, I mean, his chin is right at the rim. You got to watch out for this kid.
That was Cook with the misfire for black. Miner does the same thing for white. As Roeder finds a little crease. I love how Coach said, you know, take what they give you. Well, you should be given a 30-footer, shouldn't you?
Yeah, I think you would.
I don't think you need a hand up when they're that deep. There's Tyler Webb with a nice 3-ball and the lead back up to 20.
I will say, though, there is some shooters out here that you kind of do got to guard. Like Leibacher, I'd take Leibacher full court if I was a coach.
Yeah.
He's not getting a running start at the rim. Paxton, you got to guard up on him as soon as he crosses half court. That's just some of the kids that I've seen this year. I'm sure most of them can knock it down at a pretty high rate, but those dudes I'm not letting get any breathing room, especially behind the three-point arc.
That's a part of the younger generation, 21 years old. Give me some quick thoughts on how the game has developed. Steph Curry, of course, is the reason for it. The three-point shot, of course, worth more than 2, but it's the distance now that you're seeing kids at every level start to shoot from. And, of course, if you can perfect it, it's such a weapon. Just what do you think about how the evolution of basketball has gone as we see another 3, and it's Kyle Scott knocking it down?
It's awesome to see. You know, I grew up kind of in that Steph Curry era and LeBron, and Steph Curry revolutionized the game, man. I mean, he was absolutely incredible, and it's kind of trickled down into the younger guys. Even when I was in high school playing basketball, I remember that's what I wanted to be good at, was shooting threes, and that's really what all I did in the gym was just shoot threes, and you see it almost every possession. There's going to be a 3 hoisted up. I think it's great for the game. It changes the game. I feel like every era changes it in some way. Michael Jordan's era was kind of all about the dunking and the inside painted area. It's kind of shifted out to the three-point game. 3's always better than 2. So if you can knock it down at a consistent level like some of these guys can, it's I think it's great for the game, and it's just a different pace, and it's fun to watch. Some even think it's better than dunking. If you can shoot a half-quarter, Storm absolutely loves the three-point shooting. I don't know if I like it more than a nice dunk, but I think it's definitely it's a different way to watch the game, and I think it's exciting.
Sign me up for a dunk over a 3 anytime, any day, and just in terms of the excitement. I understand that it counts for more points on the board, but I like to see the athleticism and the guy skying, because anybody can shoot a 3. Quite literally, everybody can at least attempt one. Very few human beings can really dunk.
Yeah, that's a good point. I think Storm's counter argument would be, well, if a dude can maybe hit a crossover and then hit one from like the volleyball line back here, how exciting would that be? But I think I agree with you. I think I would go, I'd rather see it dunk.
How about the crossover and then right over the top of you, huh?
I agree. I think I'd rather see it dunk, especially if it's over top of somebody.
Yeah.
That's definitely got to be probably the best play in basketball.
Stokes chases down his own miss, tried to sneak it into Leibacher, kicks out of bounds. Or excuse me, pass intended for Fisher. And how about that? The retirement era of Steve Gray, and he's in a gym. What a surprise.
Yeah, I seen him walk in, and I was like, what a coincidence.
Yep.
Coach Gray, in here, just announced his retirement a couple days ago. Walking into a gym, got to catch some basketball, especially at this kind of level.
And I think that's true of all of the legendary coaches from around our area. I think the one, at least most recently, that really sticks out, Joe Baylog, who retired from Ontario. How many games did you see him at this year? A lot.
I think every big Friday night game he was at, I think every single game that I was at, he was typically there. I seen him at a couple Willard games, seen him at a couple of Mansfield Senior games. The dude was all around. Seen him in Dayton, of course.
Yeah.
So, I mean, he's all over the place watching some high school hoops.
Stokes trying to be all over the place here for Team White. Gets the friendly roll. It's back down to 17. It's going to be interesting to see if Team White can try to make a run at this thing. Big swat right there from Ryan Moore. Wow.
Yeah, Vallejo kind of getting a taste of his own medicine there.
Yeah, let the air out of the tire of the Winnebago.
Swatting that one out of the sky. He didn't know how to react after it either.
Ronsky off balance triple, won't fall. So Team White, opportunity here to try to put together a run, as that's going to be a three-pointer from Fisher. Big shot.
Fisher's a big-time player, too. Caught him a couple times this year. And their loss to St. Mary's Memorial, where they're almost able to knock off them, but that kid down there headed to Ohio State. He's a tough player, too. Vallejo. Banks not open as Nutter. Not able to get it to fall, but free throws are headed his way.
Colin Nutter, a member of the 1,000-point club. 6'6" senior from Old Fort, who at least when I saw him last at the district round, a highly sought-after Division II prospect, but was keeping his options open. He's still playing the field. I'm not sure if he's made a decision as of yet, but I know that he had a few suitors that were looking into him.
A lot of talent out here on this floor. And we kind of talked about it before the game, Brian. I think if we brought an OH report team against one of these clubs, we would get absolutely blown out of the water.
Yeah, if we jumped onto the floor right now, just given where I think our general cardio and endurance is, and then plus our size, I think I'd probably have to be well, I guess we got Hayden would be our tallest guy out on the floor at 6'2", so he's going to be banging inside with the likes of Moore and DeWeese and Minor and Nutter. I don't like our matchup. We better be a good three-point shooting team. Yeah, right. That's what I'll agree with Storm. Yeah, I like the three a lot better if I don't have to go in amongst the trees. Quick trigger from Moronsky. Nutter lost the handle on his way up.
I think the crowd's waiting for the dunk to happen. I think we all can feel it in the air. Not many fast break opportunities. I think almost everybody out here on the floor can probably dunk, and Reynolds knocks down a three, and White somehow climbed back into this game.
Yeah, they've made it interesting now. Dozen-point deficit, just under a dozen minutes to go. Will Team Black come up with some offense? They won't this time.
Ooh.
And that would have been one heck of a highlight had Stokes been able to elevate up over the top of Jordan.
The smooth finish there from Nutter with the Euro step, dragging that back leg just to stay steady and floated that one up. And you don't see that from a 6'6" guy running the floor. As on the other end, White able to capitalize to stay right in it.
That's another part of the game of basketball that has really evolved is just the Euro step over.
Yeah.
I mean, that move seems like it's been around longer than the deep three definitely has. But you got to have that be part of your game as Jordan able to split through a double team.
You want to talk about a big guy getting skinny right there. Vallejo getting skinny through the hole and then floated in with the English over top for the nice finish.
Here he is trying to check Stokes. Wesley with a left-handed layup. He'll check out, as will everybody else on the floor. But one more look, you're right. That's a perfect example there. Getting skinny, knifing through a couple of would-be defenders. Vallejo making the most of his last offensive possession. And, hey, they heard the OH Sport teams trying to get a game here. They rolled the ball out to Hayden. He just put his foot on it.
Listen, we've been begging to play some pickup hoops. We need to.
I don't think this is the place for us to start.
I know, that's true. Any maybe older guys when I get in an open gym or something, but maybe not these guys.
Yeah, how would you like to show up at the park? It's your first time of the season playing, and these are, you know, the two teams.
I'd walk off. I wouldn't even play. I'd get in my car and go home.
Yeah, just look at the size and be like, yeah, I think I got things to do, guys. Pretty busy tonight. Yeah, we want no part of that game. Paxton unleashes a deep one. Pure.
Dude's lethal from beyond the arc. You cannot leave him any kind of space. His shot is so pure. Every one he's made, I don't think he's ever even hit the rim.
That's what Roeder typically has done best throughout his career. Nearly a 2,000-point scorer. And now Paxton in the flow, just missed that one. Two-man game. Trey gives it off this time for Olsen. Down the middle of the floor. Would have been a tough shot. Well, it was a tough shot. A tough make, I should say. Everyone drifts by, and that one drifts in and out for Webb. But he's got friends. Meyer that time.
White finally got it to single digits, and Myers trying to shut the door back on him. As we got a game here in this last 8:25 remaining in the second half.
It's as clean a jumper as we've seen so far tonight. Aiden couldn't come through. And now off the switch, no shot. Down on the block, pretty move baseline. DeWeese up and under. Or I'm sorry, Aiden McGough.
What a finish down low. I believe he was fading out of bounds too, and somehow was able to just stick his hand right underneath the backboard and play glass.
So back-to-back hoops now for Team Black. No response there for the white squad. Nice acceleration to the cut by Webb. Timeout on the floor. And it looks like so Team White's gonna now make the substitution. Black, Coach Otterbacher, keeping his guys out on the floor.
I talked about this pregame, Brian. This is kind of when coaching is going to be maybe a little bit more of a factor than that entire first half. Is now the game coming down to a wire, and White, they got to have an answer. The offense has got to pick up to get back into this one.
Air milled that time from the corner. Webb looking inside. Now the jab step, pull up three, no bueno. Stokes with the fall away. That one won't go either. And a clean block at the rim. Huge defensive effort that time from Meyer.
Thinking maybe one of these fast breaks, we might get a dunk, Brian. Hopefully we get to see one.
Yeah, I think we got teased. There was a dunk, 2 minutes into the game?
Yeah.
Saw Jacob Meyer elevate on a play where it didn't look like he was going to be able to throw one down. And since then, it's really gone quiet up there around the rim area. Until now. Meyer again.
You want to talk about a back scratcher right there. Meyer got that baby back, slammed it home.
I mean, this dude can really leap. 6'3".
I mean, he was up there.
Now setting a nice screen, opening things up. Webb with the bucket, and just like that, it's back up near 20.
Yeah, they're trying to slam the door here. The last couple of possessions, able to capitalize on every set that they've got to go. White really with no answer.
So as we're approaching the 5-minute mark, looks like Team Black is going to be heading into victory lane. And I think that over 85 looking real good right now.
Could possibly be 100 if they pick it up.
I'll be rooting for it. I love offense. No need to shy away from that. And there's 3 right there. Nice start, Isaac Roeder. Baseline drive through the fingers off the kick out. Reynolds from beyond the arc. Back and forth we go. Here's Stokes down the lane. It opened up.
Stokes with a great change of acceleration right there, just slowing down the right time. And Reynolds, a nice little screen, just to set up an easy layup from Stokes. Now subs going to come in for Coach Otterbacher.
Same for Team White. They're going to get the 5 on the floor, who made that nice push there midway through the second half. Got as close as they've been. So he jokes about it, but the coaching strategy for Coach Otterbacher kind of paid off right there. You know what I mean? Like keeping the guys in for the first time tonight, got a little bit different matchup, and his guys took full advantage.
Yeah, they went on a pretty big run, really, to put the game away. Here with down 20 is White with just under 4 minutes remaining. They're going to need a heck of an effort to even get back into this game, let alone take the lead.
See if someone can catch fire here for Team White down the stretch. Good look here from Miner off the setup from Leibacher.
At this point, I think you just got to chuck up some threes if you're White. Down 20 points, none to lose.
Yeah, start maybe more worrying about getting on the highlight reel like Vallejo just tried to do there.
He almost had it.
Oh, great no-look pass. Came off the rim. Now Paxton rolls around. Rocky skies for the rebounds. Now Blake from outside, in and out.
We kind of talked about that, how the game's kind of changed, and you've seen that just from Ronsky. I know he missed it, but he was, 4 or 5 steps on the three-point line, and he didn't need any extra effort to put up that jumper. Just kind of an everyday jumper that he put up. Wasn't able to get it to go, but that's just kind of how the game has adapted these past couple years.
No question about it. Has changed a lot since Steph Curry came into the league. Hate it or love it, it is modern day basketball. Another deep 3. Black walks it across the timeline here, approaching the 2-minute mark.
Oh.
Miner was trying to get a nice clean breakaway. Instead, it's Wronski again halfway home.
Here we go.
Around the back, Miner collides with Vallejo. And you know Jordan's not just going to allow an easy one. Come on.
And if Paxton would have took that up, Vallejo was coming. Watch him. Watch him. Look at him sizing him up.
Dun, dun. Dun, dun, dun.
I haven't seen Vallejo get knocked down, though.
Well, I tell you what. Ian Miner, probably, of all the athletes out here, like he's the second, maybe like thickest, most physical dude behind the Winnebago. So, yeah, that was a lot of meat in that collision.
To say the least.
See what Jordan's going to cook up for us here. Oh, just a pass. Leibacher read it. Almost snuck in there.
I think the bench is wanting Vallejo to take the ISO.
Ooh, Jordan, nice crossover to the rack. Wow. Come on, man.
I mean, that's incredible for a guy his size to be able to move that quick. What a quick crossover. And then to finish at the rim, and Paxton showing up from downtown. He's had a couple here tonight, at least 4 or 5, that he's been able to splash in from 3.
And it looks like, you know, Jordan's just taking the team on his shoulders at this point. Everyone's looking at him. Just go make a play, big fella. Good look from the corner. Miner, offensive board. He'll try one from the opposite way. Lob for Nutter in the alley-oop. There we go.
See, I thought we'd see a little bit more of that throughout the entire game, but they showed out defensively. I think what Coach said was kind of true. You know, not only scouts, they don't only scout for offense. You know, they scout for defense too. You got to come out and put a performance and be a complete basketball player, and Black was able to do so with a big win.
But just 84 points, though, G.
Shoot it. Shoot it.
Now you see that Scott Van Pelt bad beats. That would have been a bad beat right there if you had the under. Paxton going to the rack. He'll get the last 2 points of the game. Why not? 84-69, your final score here from Cedar Point. Team Black with a big victory. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back with our Maumee Bay Turf post-game that'll include an interview with our MVP. We'll have to talk about who that is. Keep it here.
Maumee Bay Turf Center, a leader in synthetic sports surfaces as well as natural field construction, maintenance, and renovation. Maumee Bay Turf is part of Turf Nation, the most trusted source in the synthetic turf industry, including creating the surface for the biggest game in pro football. From professional, college, and high school sports to recreation and commercial projects, check them out at MaumeeBayTurfCenter.com and see our large collection of finished projects and services. Maumee Bay Turf Center, we build better.
now with our Maumee Bay Turf Company MVP, Jacob Meyer, team high 14 points tonight, and you have 4 of the most impressive points, 2 of the 3 dunks in the game, and you really set the tone, I think, early with your athleticism. Just describe to me just your style of play and how you were able to put it to use tonight.
I like to play with a lot of athleticism and just bring a lot of energy. And it was really fun playing with a lot of these guys you don't normally get to play or a chance to play with. So it was just a lot of fun to go out and play.
And it seemed like you guys, Team Black, you really put in a lot of effort defensively. Some all-star games, you don't see that. It'll be a little bit more offense, but you guys were doing it at both ends.
Oh, yeah, we wanted to get after it on defensive end, and I think both teams did a good job getting after it on the defensive end, too. So it was a real competitive all-star game, a little different than you might see anywhere else. That was definitely cool.
Who are some of the individual rivals that maybe you've had to go head-to-head with over the last several seasons during your high school career that you actually got to team up with here tonight?
We've scrimmaged against Clyde, so I knew Jaden Cook, Caden Olson, too. Gavin was on the other team. He goes to my school. I know Colin Nutter really well. I know a lot of the guys really well, so yeah, it's a really cool experience.
Getting a dub, how much emphasis did Team Black put on doing that here tonight?
We didn't really make it too big of a point to get it done, but it was nice that we were able to get the win. We just want to come out and have some fun tonight.
Well, you get to compete in this All-Star game, and then again on Sunday you said you get to compete in the District 7 All-Star game. Just what does that mean to you as a senior to be invited to these nice showcases where you get to play with the best of the best?
It's great to have the opportunity to kind of wrap up the season that way. Everyone had really good regular season, so it's nice as a senior to go in and put the jersey on one last time and have some fun with no pressure that the regular season usually brings.
Well, if you'd like to look into that camera and give a shout out to anybody who may be watching, now's your time.
I guess shout out to my parents and shout out to Pemberville, Ohio.
All right, our MVP, Jacob Meyer, we got a pen for you. You can throw on your varsity letter jacket, your backpack, whatever. Then we also got a T-shirt for you for being tonight's MVP. So thanks so much for the time, man. Great player.
Thank you, appreciate it.
All right, we'll throw it back over to G-Man. He's got Travis joining him now.
Hi, G.
What's up, G?
Sitting courtside here with Garrett Parlett, and from what I was able to see on camera, more defense than normal for a basketball all-star game. We saw it with the girls, and I mean, everybody's here to see the dunks and whatnot, but they weren't able to because of the defense.
Yeah, I thought we honestly were going to get a little bit more dunks, a little bit more high flashy plays, so maybe some more pocket passes. No, it's just kind of a standard old basketball game until the end of the things. We had a couple more dunks towards the end, a little bit more physical play,
yep.
But great to see, man. You don't get to see this kind of talent go toe-to-toe on a night-in, night-out basis, and it was great to come up here to Cedar Point and watch a great group of guys go at it for maybe their last time ever.
Yeah, and I said in the girls' game that there's so many great athletes in North Central Ohio. You'd think you'd see those athletes in the Columbus area or the Cleveland, Toledo area, but they're here in North Central Ohio as well, and it's fun to see them all get together and play against each other. Some guys that are rivals, some guys that are teammates still playing against each other. It's just fun to be at these All-Star games, and hey, we got one more tomorrow.
Yeah, one coming up on the schedule, the News Journal All-Star Classic. So if you love high school hoops, keep it locked in here at the OH Reports. We got one coming up tomorrow night.
You want to take us out?
No, see, I'm not ready for that yet.
You're not
That's
ready
next
for that?
year. That's next year.
All right, well, that'll wrap it up here from Cedar Point Sports Center for both games. Your final score one more time, Team Black 84, Team White 69. Coming up tomorrow, the News Journal All-Star Game, the 43rd edition. Brian Skoronsky, Effie James on the call for that. I want to thank everybody that helped make things possible tonight. Travis Berardi on camera, Storm Blunchley, Hayden Gray on camera, Adam Thompson, production, Maumee Bay Turf Center, our sponsor for the day, the Cedar Point Sports Center for hosting the game, and also a special thank you to the Spy Report for putting this on. And most importantly, we want to thank you, the fans, for watching. But that'll wrap things up for Garrett Parlett. I'm Travis Berardi saying so long from Sandusky.